Jai Sai Ram. Thanks to Spiritual Discourses channel and thanks to Swami for giving me this opportunity to talk in this channel. Today we are going to talk about one of the Sahasranamams of Sathya Sai Baba, Om Shri Sai Arthatrana Parayanaya Namaha. Artha is those who are in distress and agony. Trana, one who saves. Parayanaya, one who is engaged in. So, the meaning of this line is Om Shri Sai, the one who is engaged in saving those who are in distress and agony. Swami always rushes and will be ready to rush to those who call to him out of agony and distress. All the gods are very compassionate and kind. God is one, forms are many. Vibhishana, Ravana's own brother, chastised him for his willfulness and lust, and urged him to save himself, his kingdom, and his kith and kin by restoring Sita unharmed to her lord. When Vibhishana went over to Rama, Rama knew that he had a pure heart and that he could not survive the poisonous atmosphere of Lanka. So he took him and saved him. The Lord likes to be called Arthatrana Parayana more than any other name, for he is most happy when he rescues those in agony and distress. Let's see few instances in Swami's avataric life to understand this. There are so many innumerable, unfathomable instances, but we can't see all of them. Let's have few samples. In Himachal Pradesh, in Shimla, a mother was so ill, was so much worried about her children. She thought she might pass away, and who will take care of her two children? She was brought in a stretcher to Swami. Swami promised her that he will take care of her children. And he took care of them. He put both of them in his primary school. Their father came very rarely to see them, but Sai mother, as promised, took perfect care of the children. One day, the hostel warden brought the younger one to Swami and said he is not eating and crying for his mother. His age was just 5. He was in first standard. Swami took pity on him, as he has lost his mother. Swami took him to the interview room, manifested a ring and put it in his finger. He talked to him something and made him laugh. And he took care of the two children like a true mother. One foreigner who could not walk for 8 years came to Swami. Earlier, he was playing and leading a normal life. But after an accident, he couldn't walk. He was so disturbed by that fact and he was so worried. He came to Swami and stayed in the ashram. Once, people from his own country came to see Swami. They were called for interview, but this man was not called. So, tears rolled down his eyes. Swami, who came for darshan, came near him and said, "You're also there, go for interview." As soon as he heard this, he was full of smiles and he moved in the wheelchair. Swami asked him to walk. He got up with much difficulty and somehow balanced himself and began to walk slowly. Then, with a normal walk, he went into the interview room. Next comes the story of Indra Devi. Indra Devi is a Russian. Her original name is Mrs. Kinare. She teaches yoga in America. Once, a forest fire struck in Mexico. Swami once told her that he will always guard her. As promised, as the fire spread, all except her Sai Nilayam perished in it. Another instance is that of Dr. Artong Joom Sai. In 1945, when the Second World War was not over, Swami suddenly appeared in front of a house in Bangkok, and he called out the lady of the house and gave vibhuti and asked her to put it in the top of the roof of the house. He talked in her language. She saw the vibhuti was like white sand. She didn't understand who this man was and why he is asking her to put the white sand on top of the roof. But she did as said without ignoring. After a few minutes, a flight attack demolished all the houses with bombs. Her house was safe. Jum Sai was a little boy then. He was the son of that lady. Later, he finished science and he got a doctorate. He joined NASA. His work was to launch an unmanned space vehicle in Mars. He was in planning and designing department. Lots of money was spent, but his plans and his designing couldn't succeed. Lots of attempts failed, so he got frustrated and he was so depressed. He left the research and came to India with his mother. He came to Whitefield and he was with Swami, and he was busy in Swami's work. As he was busy here in Swami's work, he couldn't take care of his factory in Bangkok. Swami always says, "You do my work, I will do your work." So as per his saying, once the Jumsai security guard was sleeping in the night. Swami entered. The door was locked. Then too Swami entered, talked to him in his language and advised him not to sleep. His work is to safeguard the factory. He is a security guard. But next day also he slept. And again Swami went, woke him up and again advised him. After Jumsai went there once, the security guard told that a person with such and such features came and advised him in the night, and he apologized to Jumsai. Jumsai understood it was Swami. He with new vigor participated in Swami's works thereafter. Swami takes care of his devotees, just like eyelids takes care of the eyes. Every second he watches them, guides them and puts them in the right path. When the devotee takes 100 steps to go astray from Swami, Swami takes 1,000 steps to bring the devotee back to the right path. And he is ever ready to rush to us when we call out to him in distress and agony. So, the name Artatharana Parayana is very, very apt for Swami. Om Shri Sai Artatharana Parayanaya Namaha. Saira.
Shri Vasudeva Narayana Sai Narayana Shri Vasudeva Narayana Sai Narayana Janartana he Madhusudana Janartana he Madhusudana Sai Narayana Janartana he Madhusudana Sai Narayana Hari Om Hari Om வாசுதேவா நாராயணா சாயி நாராயணா ஜனார்த்தனா ஹே மதுசூதனா ஜனார்த்தனா ஹே மதுசூதனா சாயி நாராயணா சாயி நாராயணா ஹரி ஓம் ஹரி ஓம் ஹரி ஓம் நாராயணா ஹரி ஓம் ஹரி ஓம் ஹரி ஓம் நாராயணா ஸ்ரீவாசுதேவா நாராயணா சாயி நாராயணா